windows rolled down, got the radio up, and I'm heading out of Vegas tonight. And it's a 1:30 on a 4-day run, and the desert is a welcome sight. I can see you there in that dress you wear, and it's keeping my foot on the gas. I drink a gallon of Joe just to make it back home and hold you in my arms at last. There's a full moon shining, lighting up the highway like a beacon to you. If I can make it on time, that's a moonlit state line, a roll of diesel right on through. Well, my lids are heavy, there's a blue and white Chevy, and it seems these are right on my heels. And I'm leaning in the bar store, I can't drive this slow, yeah, you know how I feel.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers found sometime last week has been inspected in Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection.
The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the K-Ghost Radio Network and its website are those of the host, guest, and participants, and they are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcast, management, or advertisers of the network. The show is found under LJA Broadcasting Network. UFO Talk Radio can, but does not necessarily promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and they are not intended to treat or diagnose and or claim to cure any disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice. All music is purchased and owned by LJA Broadcasting.
Some fun right along with us, broadcasting live deep from the desert of Nevada. Welcome to the Glenn Leary Show. Now, broadcasting live from deep in the desert of Nevada, K-Ghost Radio presents UFOTalkRadio.com with your host, Larry Glenn Anderson, Glenn Larry.
And I am Glenn Larry. Welcome all my friends and fans and family from the high desert, the great American Southwest, broadcasting live deep in the desert of Nevada. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, what time zone you may be in or wherever you're at. Yes, this is the LJ Broadcasting Network. And I would like to say hello to all my affiliates out there, small broadcasters, micro broadcasters, and stations out there, shortwave, internet stations, 73s to all the ham operators out there, I must say, and to the silent key, Whiskey 60 Baker, you thank you kindly, sir, and KPFF FM in Pahrump, Nevada. I hope they're doing very well. Nice little station. Do very well up there. KBHR 57 AM, Alaska. We say hello to you also. And to all that listening all over the world on the internet, thank you so very much. Oh, yes. I hope your weeks were good. We were gone for a couple of weeks. Took a little sabbatical aboard the ships, may I say, if you have read that on the Facebook page. We were going to have Joy Elaine on tonight, and her power is off where she's at, that part of the country, apparently. And so she will not be with us tonight, although we'll have her on in a couple of weeks. Next week, we're going to have on Earl Gray, UFO MUFON guy out of Los Angeles. Great guy to talk to. Very interesting, too, you know. So I hope your week was good. I was very busy. I did suffer a bit of a throat problem, but that was gone now, thank God. The heat everywhere. It is hot all over the United States of America. It's crazy. And heat waves everywhere. I know that Washington State has gotten hit pretty bad with heat wave. Of course, now they got a little more of the, we get hot here in Las Vegas also, and deep in the desert over here on the Good Springs, Nevada. Yeah, we got up to 113 the other day, so that was very kind of exciting. But my air conditioning's going very well. And you can hear the fan in the background. You probably do. I can hear it. You can hear it. Special thanks goes out to Sheldon Battery. We have an RV out there, as you all know, and I knew nothing about batteries. And this gentleman told me what I had to have, what I had to do, and how to store the batteries properly. And I want to say hello to Sheldon Battery out there, 702-362-8180. If you have any questions about batteries, call him, ask for Jeff, and tell him that I sent you about batteries. It's important. When it gets hot out, those batteries don't like to be in the hot. No. They like it around, I think, around 65. That's where the battery's comfortable. And they don't like the cold either. So if you have a bad battery, it's going to go. It's going to go back fast. And that's what happened to us on the road. And, that's a big RV, Anyway, Carpets Tile USA, thank you, Fran, for doing what you did for us out here. Donated some carpet to our station. You want to know about carpet, tile, or anything, you can talk to him. Ask him about the product, what to buy. What do you want to do? What ask him about the weaves and whatever of carpet. 702-265-4419. Fran asked it. And of course, now you see Ray's honey all the time on my site. And I love honey. And boy, honey. And I'll tell you, it sure is taking care of my allergies this year. Really has. And it really helps. The honey in your area will help you with allergies. And it's all on the web page there. Tina's hair. Hello, Tina. Yes, I'll be in for a haircut. Last time you came up to see me, thank you so very much. Yeah, Tina's hair. So here we are. Tina's hair is 702-591-0033. If you're in the area, she'll come to you. She's a great lady. Does the hair for the announcers here. And boy, there've been some shaggy dogs in here. I'll tell you for sure. Yeah. A big shout goes out to Creekside Diner over there in I think it's Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. I was there, had a great meal, had a good time. Good people, fun people. She loves to take care of the first responders, police and fire. And also I want to say hello to Karen. Nice to know you out there. And I love you listening to us. I appreciate that. K-Ghost Radio, UFO Talk Radio, LJ Broadcast Networks supports all EMTs, EMS, fire and police, first responders. And if it wasn't for them, I'll tell you, we'd be in a world hurt. Air in Pennsylvania is sticky. Humidity is so high, and it's so hot over there. Imagine wearing those fire suits, the turnouts. Oh my gosh, I don't know how they do it, but bless their hearts. Yeah, Avondale, guys out there, Station 23, Chief Hall, great guy, and to the Clark County out here in Nevada, Station 78, 87, 77. Thank you so much, and all the doctors and nurses and emergency rooms and all the techs, we thank you. We love you. Really do. Please, in this heat wave all over America, you must keep hydrated. You must drink that water and stay out of the heat. If you have a heart condition, please get where it's cool. And also for your pets and animals, what have you, keep them where it's cool if you can. Yeah, I have a little kitten now. A little kitty cat. It's Caticle, and she's a doll. Now she's out playing in the living room 24 hours a day. I get very little sleep these days. This little kitten, this little baby, she's really something. But it's companion, and I love cats anyway, as you all know. So anyway, we were going to have Joy on, and we're not, apparently, because her power is out. And she really wanted to be on, and we will have her on in a couple of weeks. She's very interesting to hear and talk to. She's a writer, author, and she's really into psychic healing and all sorts of stuff. Just If you look her up, yeah, Joyce Elaine, and on the internet, you'll tell all about her. And gosh, and she got so many books out. But hopefully we'll have her on in a couple of weeks. So if it all works out, if she gets the power back on, I'm sure she will. Yeah. Well, what was supposed to happen this week? It didn't happen. No disclosure. We were supposed to get more of the Pentagon about the UFOs and about, it came out with a report, a 9-page report, which said nothing. And I am just so upset. But doesn't surprise you? Your government's not going to give you anything. I mean, in this area, it's just old information, newspaper articles, listings, references, and stuff. Was not much. And I know that the UFO community out there, especially radio hosts and writers and professors and professionals, are upset also. But at least Harry Reid started the ball rolling. Yeah, we got to give kudos to that gentleman for that. But here we've got nothing on the UFOs. And I wasn't really expecting maybe a lot, but maybe just a little. But we did not get that. Now, does that surprise you? Will they come out with something later on? It's yet to be seen or heard. But they're all talking about it. And it is true. There are ships from another galaxy, another planets. And they're alien driven, or maybe they're mechanically driven. Intelligence, robotic, maybe. I don't know. But the way they move so fast, we couldn't be anything like that. Now, the news is, as you probably have read, we do have crafts that are circular and that look like UFOs. And we do have, we've developed new spacecraft, which is now just coming out. Now, it's been built years ago. I want to know where $21 trillion went from the government. Oh, yes. Did they take that money on it's all research for Space Force? I wonder. The golden hammer and the golden toilet seat. Well, back in the 80s and 90s, that was really something. But $21 trillion. I just can't advance. It's just unbelievable. You could build, my God, 300, 400, 500, 800 battleships, carriers, or more. Yeah, it's a lot of money. What would you do with that money? You couldn't even spend it. Neither could I. I would try. On a space program. I wonder if Bigelow knows much about all that. And Ian, if he knows much about that either. I wonder how much they know. And I also wonder who gives this information out from the Pentagon and gives us these certain pictures and stuff. I mean, they go to certain investigators and UFO investigators that are big in the UFO field community. But I don't know who controls all that. And it's little by little. It's like we'll give you something and then pull back and let you ponder, and then we're going to come out with something, and then they didn't do it. So it's kind of a game, cat and mouse. UFO and humans. How much should we give them? Yeah. I would like to hear some of you guys' views out there about this so-called 9-page or whatever report came out, which is nothing. Oh, by the way, I want to remind you guys, I do have the bumper stickers out now. UFO, that's our bumper sticker. And if you email me at glennlarry51@gmail.com, I'll send you a couple. And the new cards. Yeah, isn't that cool? You can see that. There you go. Yeah. So we'll send you one of those. And also, we're going to start a store so we can sell those cups. Lots of cups to sell. I'm also giving away honey. So if you do also email me, I'll send you a jar of honey. How's that sound? Great. We're going to go to a bit of a commercial here. PSA, as they say. And I keep hitting that microphone in my hat.
Every day, people are afraid to report violent crimes. In times like these, choosing to report a crime or helping the police can be a difficult decision. A no-snitching culture has sprung up in our communities, making it unpopular and sometimes even dangerous to report a crime. Do the right thing by calling 911 or your local crime tip line. If you're the victim of a crime, report it. If you know about a crime, report it. To learn more about how to do the right thing, visit ncpc.org or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Violence, theft, drugs, graffiti. It's all part of joining a gang. In times like these, we need to protect our children and our community from gangs. Gangs often prey on unsupervised teens with low self-esteem, who perform poorly in school, who seek a sense of belonging, or are simply bored. Joining a gang often involves violent hazing rituals. Once in a gang, members can become alienated from their families, school, and friends. Drugs, guns, and malicious activity are common elements in gangs. Trying to leave a gang can be a difficult and dangerous process. The best way to get out of a gang is never to join one. Protect kids from being recruited by a gang. Know who they're hanging out with. Involve kids in after-school activities and provide positive role models. Help reduce gang activities in your community by working with local law enforcement and school systems. Don't let a kid you know get involved with gangs. Visit ncpc.org to learn more or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
And we are back, yes. Well, nothing from disclosure, nothing from the Pentagon. I have been looking up, we've had some more sightings, of course, over United States, another 25. And they're popping up everywhere. So don't be afraid to report what you see in the skies to move on. Well, it's very important to do that, whatever state you are in. They are listed, and you're on your computer or either in your phone book. 411, I think, still works. Yeah. So here we sit, sitting on our hands, waiting to see what's going to happen. Anything new. I mean, we've heard so much is out there, and I'm glad to see a lot of these talk hosts are getting together, and they're talking about it. And everybody has their different shows, of course. I'm always open to talk about anything on that matter. Of course, I'm going to open the lines up a little earlier tonight, and so give us a call. Here's the number.
To call UFO Talk Radio, The Glenn Larry Show, deep in the dark desert of Nevada, call 702-874-1114. North of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. West of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And south of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And east of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. First-time callers, call 702-874-1114. And if you just want to talk to the Glenn Larry Show, call 702-874-1114.
It is hot in this studio, by the way. I have a fan out there running. You probably can hear that. I can hear it through my headphones, so I'm sure you can hear it also. Saying hello to a lot of people on the internet here on the radio side. I have Washington State. I see Oregon, Seaside, Oregon, Astoria. I'm looking at Tacoma, Seattle, also Olympia. It's hot up there. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, your humidity is high also. It's rough on you. PA, Pennsylvania, I see in Montana. Buffalo, New York. Great. Welcome. Haven't seen you guys for quite a while. California, several hits down there. Los Angeles. Ventura, Oxnard, I see you guys. Great. Canada, yes, a couple hits in Canada again. Great stations up there, by the way. And on the internet side here, I'm seeing some folks over here in Spokane. That's another off station that we have on the satellite up there. So it's a new one. So they're just finding out about that. By the way, we are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. That would be # Glenn Larry Podcast. We're on Twitter, and we are on Spotify and Reverb Nation. Looks like Facebook, YouTube, of course, all of our websites. The Glenn Larry Show, UFO Talk Radio, Area 51 Talk Radio. That's big. Art Bell Tribute. And, of course, OlympiaRadio.com, K-Ghost, and SoundCloud. Yeah, we're all over the place. So, and we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's so nice to have you guys, and it's what you say when you guys email me back. And they're starting to come in right now from Facebook again. Thank you kindly. Yeah. So here we are. It's the 29th. That report was supposed to come out, I believe, on the 27th or 28th, 27th, it was. And we got nothing. And it's just, I mean, does it surprise you that we got nothing? We always get nothing. When we want answers, we don't get the right answers. Something's going to happen to take this whole thing off our minds. Sadly enough, the building that was destroyed, that fell down, that was terrible. I mean, just many people were killed. And then, of course, the prosecution of the officer that shot Floyd back earlier this later this year. I mean, he got sentenced. I think it was like 21 years, something like that. But other news comes in and covers up the UFO stuff, and that's a bummer. But that's the way it is, and that's what happens. So yeah. Seeing these UFOs, and you wonder, how can they move as fast as they do? And I was saying earlier that I think they might be like an intelligence that it could be a robotic, and that might be their drones that come in and check on us, maybe, or they may be time machines. How about that one? And they pop in and out of the dimension here, and they're seen, and they have to move fast to get out of here. You go back into space, what have you, to go to somehow go through that wormhole, that black hole. I mean, there's so many theories out there. But here we sit again, wondering. Maybe we're not supposed to know. Maybe we're at the point in our lives that it's a changing of vibrations in the universe, and that we're supposed to be at a certain level now, and then we'll move to another phase level in a faster way. But here we sit till the certain thing happens somewhere, something's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, boom, we're bumped up in technology again. We had a great step from the resistor to the, whatever, in the electronics today. I mean, unbelievable. So who knows? Scientists are working around the world all the time, working on new stuff. And quantum physics is pretty cruel and interesting. That's quite a deal. So, I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you have an idea, or do you think that they want to give us information, or they do not want to give us information? Give us bad information? They've been preparing us for years for the UFO movies and all that stuff, Orson Welles and all that, for the big invasion. When they're going to come and get us and eat us. Do they think they're evil? Do you think we're maybe food for them? Oh my gosh, that's a terrible thing to say. Or they want the minerals from the earth. They could take anything they want at any time. So why worry about it, right? Yeah, lots of thoughts on that. I'll give this number out again, and hope that you guys will give us a call. Well, I did have, supposed to have Joy on, but she couldn't make it because of the power in her area. So hopefully get her on next time.
UFO Talk Radio, the Glenn Larry Show, deep in the dark desert of Nevada. Call 702-874-1114. North of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. West of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And south of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. And east of the Rockies, call 702-874-1114. First time callers, call 702-874-1114. And if you want to talk to the Glenn Larry Show, call 702-874-1114.
A lady had called me the other day and she's explained to me about her UFO experience. She saw exactly what I saw back in the day in the late 90s, excuse me. It was stars in the sky, a cluster of them. I mean, like a big cutout. You could take a newspaper and put it up there. But the problem was that these stars that were so huge and beautiful looked like rocks and are huge, the diamonds. And what they were moving, this cutout was moving by itself. I mean, it was moving slow, camouflaged within the other stars. A mothership, yes. And she had seen something like that just recently. Of course, mine was back in the 90s. Man, so much going on up there. And so much is not being reported. And those that are reporting stuff are common sightings of disc-shaped UFOs and cigar-shaped UFOs and what have you. Fishermen off of Catalina Island saw one the other day, and it was a disc-shaped type of saucer type. And apparently, it hovered over his boat. And I'll tell you, he was shaken up. And they tried to move farther away from it, and it kind of followed him. Oh, my gosh. And I guess that trip was over, fishing trip was over. And he had witnesses on the ship, too. So that came into my here. What have you seen? Have you seen craft like that? I know a lot of people say, I saw a bright ball or a big spotlight in the sky, and it just stayed there and hovered, and the orb type of thing. They get a lot of those. But when you actually see a disc, a flying disc type of saucer, like I have on my cards, and it's out there, and then it shoots left to right, and then just gone straight up out of the air, just shoots away. That's what's really kind of cool. Yeah. What are they looking at? What are they doing? Are they taking something out of the earth that they need? Are they getting maybe some type of magnetic type of pulse from the earth to complete their mission to where they're got to go? Is this a stopping place for fuel? I mean, and off they go to other planets and galaxies. Yeah, gosh. There was I believe it was a video that was on, and we got a caller, and it was of an actual landing. This is Glenn Larry. You're live on the air, and what's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Ernie.
Okay, Ernie, let me turn you up here, buddy. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, it's Ernie, and I'm from Bakersfield.
Okay, Ernie.
I'm listening on YouTube.
Oh, well, fantastic.
Anyway, what I wanted to view that 9-page report was just nothing.
Yeah.
And did you notice that it's not been in the news, it's not been covered, and a building falls down in Florida, and it's almost 24-hour coverage.
Right.
So, I suspect that why is there 24-hour coverage of one building falling down when, you got the UFO reports out, there's all sorts of other things going on in the news, but that's all that's getting covered because it's just to redirect you away from the fact that they're not going to give you any information on the UFOs.
Not at all. Did you see what was in that report?
Yeah, there's nothing spectacular.
No.
They got a pictures of the UFOs that's been on the news for years,
Right.
and you know, well, we can't identify this, and it moved like that. And there's some of the cockpit, and that's it.
Yeah. Right. Same old stuff. Old news. Old stuff. And I was surprised that. I mean, it's like this egg on their face. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, but maybe they don't know. Maybe
that's what I'm thinking.
that's why they can't admit it. That, you know, the one thing the government doesn't ever want to do is say, we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. They have to be in control, and they have to know. Yeah. Of
And
course.
if they say they don't know, and if we don't have a clue, then they have no control. And then people are going to, you know, be, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? That, you know, you can't even tell us what's flying through the atmosphere, what's coming over our bases, what's flying in and out of the water off of Catalina Island.
Yep.
And you don't have a clue. And you, like you said earlier, you spent $21 trillion.
Interesting, my friend. I'll tell you. Maybe they, like you said, they don't know. So they say nothing, so they don't get in trouble by saying anything. Maybe it is that if they do have stuff, it may be misinformation. You know what I'm saying? Redirection.
Well, I think that's what, you know, why the news is covering this building in Florida over and over and over again, is that's part of your misinformation, misdirection. Let's, you know, go live again. And not that that's not a terrible tragedy, but
Right.
it's not worth the amount of time that's on the news cycle.
Right.
And the fact that that happens right after, I'm not saying there's any conspiracy or anything, but it's interesting that the press has to go cover something instead of a nothing report. And I kind of think that maybe the government doesn't know. I don't know that there's deeper conspiracy. They either know way so much that they can't tell us, or they know nothing.
I'm waiting until it all comes down where they can't control anything, news or nothing. They're there. They arrived, they parked, and they're here, and we're all seeing them from all over the world. I mean, they'll be landing everywhere. I mean, they're parking.
How much do you think they are here? You think because we're kind of out on the edge of the universe,
right?
As far as we're not downtown. You think we're Magellan landing in the Philippines, or, you know, we barely got there?
Well, I think they're here already. I think they're walking among us, and I think there's different races.
Well, we know there's several different groups that are here, but couldn't that be any more competition that was what was going on in Europe between, you know, the Portuguese and the Spanish and the English, all trying to be explorers for the world? Maybe it's like that, and they just barely could get here.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe they're scientists. They're scientists. They're like you say. They're discovering. They're out there, reaching out.
Well, you said earlier it was what that they were here maybe to eat us. Now that was a Twilight Zone episode. I don't think that's true. That was Certain Man was the name of that episode.
Oh, was it? Okay. In the memory banks. But you never know. I don't know. God, I have no answers. But I can tell you one thing. I've seen several of them, and they are real. And I do not think they're ours. I've
seen them, and you know, sometimes I wonder if it's, you know, government secret aircraft or not. But you know, they do things. What I've seen can't be done by us. But I suspect that we don't know. We don't have a clue what's going on, that they're here.
Yeah. Huh. I wonder about, of course, Area 51. They're developing stuff all the time out there. But they're supposed to have craft there. They've had it's crashed, and it's like a pick apart down there. You know.
Yeah. You know that Area 51 back in the 80s. There was all sorts of news here in Las Vegas about the things flying through the sky that you couldn't see on radar.
Right.
Well, then the next thing you know, we're putting them into Baghdad.
That's true. If you go ahead and take your night vision glasses, you look at the sky with no light around you, of course, you will see some pretty interesting stuff. You'll see space debris, excuse me. You'll be seeing satellites you've never seen before, and pretty crazy stuff going on out there. A lot's going on up there.
Well, that's why they had to have, Space Force.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering. That's been going on for years. I really believe they've already had that up and
They
going.
just made that public so that they could fund it better.
Yes. Maybe some of that $21 trillion. Boy, I tell you,
That's about right on that.
that's about, yeah, I agree with you there too. But I gotta tell you, I'm very happy that Harry Reid got that out. Maybe he had to before it blew up in his face. I don't know, but yeah, interesting.
But sometimes I don't have a very high opinion of politicians, but when they're leaving, sometimes, and he was leaving at that point.
Yeah.
What do you got to lose? You ain't running for re-election again.
No.
And you don't care what like Bob Dylan said, you can talk about me plenty when I'm gone.
Yeah. So true. Gosh. Oh, God. I was supposed to have Joy on tonight, Elaine, and she into the vibrations and stuff and the whole, but she got some good stuff to talk about. And I'm sorry we couldn't get her on because I guess her power went out and her city or whatever. So she's dealing with that. And I had to deal with that before, on the radio. My God, you just panic. I mean, God, you plug in this, plug in that, you get the old generator going, and it's going to carry so much stuff. So you do what you can, or you can plug in whatever. But yeah, I know that feeling. So we'll have her on probably in a week or so. But next week we're going to have, if you know this guy's name, Earl Grey. He is a MoveOn director in Los Angeles, California. And he's got a lot to say. He's got some real good stuff to talk about. And we're going to have him on next Tuesday. So I'm excited with that. And I hope his power doesn't go off. But caller and all, back to the UFO thing. Yeah, I think, well, they still got some time, don't they? I mean, they could come out with something again. Would you not? Or you think it might be another 10 years?
Oh, I don't, I'm suspected that they ain't got a clue, and that's why they can't tell us anything. There's one thing the government can't do is say don't have a clue.
Yeah.
They everybody's going to say, well, what have you been spending all this money for? What are you doing all this research for? What do you mean you spend all this money on national defense and you can't defend?
Right. Yeah. What are you doing with our money? Yeah, say nothing and that'd be better. That's what they're doing. I might agree with you right there. But I know there's more to happen that's going to come out. I'm feeling about more sightings and people seeing more than they've ever seen before. And well, it's good that we have groups like the UFO research folks out there and MoveOn and all those folks doing that, studies of UFOs and our talk shows on that. Of course, we're UFO Talk Radio and we're UFO Area 51 Talk Radio. And yeah, I mean, all those other guys that are doing that, thank God they're talking about it. And we're all going to try to keep our minds open and communicate amongst each other if we can. I think it's important that the public gets more involved with these groups also, because you're not a nut anymore. You know what I'm saying? Before they said he's a kook, he believes in UFOs, flying saucers. Well, now take a poll. What do you think it's going to be? I'd say about 90% of the world believes in UFOs, right? Would you say, caller?
Oh, I'd say most people in the developed world are going to say, yeah, there's something going on there. I don't know about in places where there's not that much technology, television, radio going on, that people worry about UFOs so much. They might be worried more about getting something to eat tomorrow. But in a world now where we have the luxury of all these things to be considered, I think that, yeah, you're right. About 90% of people think there's at least something that's not explained fully.
Mm-hmm. well, I can see more things happening. Now, if things get worse in America, I mean, what have you? People are worried about eating. You're right. I mean, gosh. And I hope that this pandemic is over for good. There's so much more that there's coming out about the virus and the whole bit, and the vaccine, and so it's God, it's a mess. We've lost a lot of good people over this damn thing too. And people lost their jobs and businesses, and I don't know. Interesting stuff. That's another talk show by itself, believe me. And I gotta be very careful, or I step or step on during that conversation. So it's kind of,
Or step in.
Yeah, step in. I was leading that way. But yeah, I know that they're going to start mining. They're trying to mine on these asteroids that are coming around the Earth belt, and they want to mine that and colonate there. That's interesting, is it not?
Well, it would certainly. I'd rather see them tear up an asteroid than do the destructive mining for the batteries that we're trying to do now.
Yeah.
That don't make no kind of sense. There's slave labor going on in Africa to keep making, everybody's electric car so they feel good about the environment.
There is in Africa. And is that like a big company like
it's open pit mining with kids in buckets in some cases.
Wow. Interesting. I thought about that. It wouldn't surprise me, of course.
But everybody feels good when they got their electric car.
Yeah. Gosh. I know that they're trying to develop a battery that's as big as your fist. And it's like my RV batteries. It would be that powerful. And I know they're trying to develop that right now. So they might, the minerals now are so hard to find. And there's only certain places you can go for certain minerals on this Earth. So I'm wondering what's on those asteroids. Do they want the gold? Do they want the certain what minerals do they want? And somehow they say they got that those minerals are on those asteroids. But how do they know that?
Well, we've landed on one or two of them. How would you mine it? Would you go there and just scoop up and then bring it back to Earth and have to risk re-entry, or would you just tow the asteroid near the moon and maybe try to land it there and mine it where it's easier to develop?
That's interesting. And I wonder how much are they bringing back foreign or alien, whatever stuff that's with that dirt or whatever, the mining material that could hurt us, spread to us.
All you need is one virus.
One odd. Now the moon rock, remember that? The moon rock.
Yeah, they isolated them for a long time. Even the men that went to the moon had to go into isolation for a protracted period of time.
Yep. Remember that too. Crazy. Moon rock. I know when a meteor hits the Earth, they're very valuable. Boy, you get one of those, that's worth some money. Or if it hasn't caused any damage to your house.
With all the meteor strikes up on the moon, wouldn't it be easier just to go up there and mine for meteor strikes that are on the moon? They couldn't degrade. There's no atmosphere to degrade them.
True. I hear we're going back to the moon. That's what I'm hearing. That should be interesting.
Well, if we go back there, we might want to go around the other side and find out what's parked back there, eh?
And I think that's the mission, So, of course, the Apollo guys saw something up there, and they reported it, and in their own special way. And I'll tell you, a couple of the astronauts never got over that. And so, yeah. NASA. Interesting. How much can you see?
Aldrin, was it Buzz Aldrin that developed the perhaps some space space that could actually track and show every shipwreck in the ocean?
Yep. It sure did. Yeah. But just imagine sitting on that moon and looking back at the Earth. I mean, what a sight that would have been. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's interesting. Well, we got another call here. Let me go ahead and take that. 114.
Well, all right. Well, then we'll talk to you
Well,
next time.
well, thank you, Connie Caller. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye. You're on the air. This is Glenn Larry. Go ahead. Your name?
Hello, Glenn.
Oh, my gosh. Is this Barbara?
This is Barbara. How are you, Glenn?
Oh, we're fantastic. We were talking about UFOs tonight, of
I
course.
know. I was listening to your show. It's very fascinating tonight.
Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate it. Where have you been? Now, we were gone for a couple of weeks. I apologize, but
I did notice that. I saw it on Facebook that you were off the air for a week or so. Yes.
I'm sorry. That's your music there.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Barbara. Here's your music.
Hello, everybody. This is Barbara doing that in Summer, Nevada. Talking with Glenn Larry on the Glenn Larry Show. I'm happy to be back.
We're glad to have you back, Barbara. So now, what'd you do these couple of weeks that we have not talked?
Well, nothing much. I've just been, just keeping the house in order.
Uh-huh.
And boy, it is storming in here tonight.
Is it storm?
Out in Summerlin.
Oh, so you got some storms over there, huh?
Yes, we do. It's raining cats and dogs.
Oh, I'll be darned. Well, it's very hot in the studio out here. It's very hot where I'm at.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was listening to your show, off and on. I have it on.
Uh-huh.
And that was very your UFO talk tonight.
Thank you.
With the gentleman?
Yes. The caller, yeah.
What was his name?
I think it was Marvin or something like that.
Marvin. Is Marvin gone?
He's gone. He's off the air now.
Oh, I wanted to ask you, what did he say about the aliens eating us? I didn't understand that.
I said that. I said maybe they're here to eat us. I don't know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I wasn't,
Oh, I see.
It could be.
And I did hear tail end of your show. You were talking about the slaves.
No, he was talking about in Africa they may have slave labor.
African slaves.
Laborers, yeah, kids and stuff like that.
But they don't do that anymore, Glenn.
I know.
The slaves.
No, not here, but maybe there they have slave labor, which is not good, So I don't know.
African, you mean black people?
Well, yeah, I guess in Africa, yeah. But that's over there.
I thought we got rid of that, Glenn.
Well, we did, Barbara. It's Africa what they're doing over there. They even children labor.
In Africa.
In Africa, yes.
Oh, maybe I misunderstood.
Yeah, I think you did.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Anyway, well, we got together. We had a little lunch, and we got to talking about this COVID nonsense.
Yeah. Okay.
And everybody's she's we all are Christian, but Marcy is a born again Christian. She goes to a different church than me and Steve.
Okay.
No, she's not asleep, Steve. Anyway, she believes, and she was talking to me, that this the vaccine of giving people.
Yes.
She believes that this is a microchip.
Okay.
And it's in the Bible.
Oh, the mark of
this,
the mark of the beast. You mean?
Yes, exactly. Have you heard of it?
I have heard of that. Yes.
And that she says that you in the Bible it says you cannot buy things or travel without the beast.
Well, they're also saying that if you haven't got a card, you may not get to travel or what have you in certain places too. I don't know.
Because we were going to go to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
We're planning to go.
Okay.
And they want a COVID test or the vaccine certificate.
Okay.
So I was thinking, wow, that is interesting. She says this, and sure enough, we're not allowed to travel without it.
Do you know what?
What do you think, Glenn?
Well, I think you should be able to
Anything
travel.
about that?
You should be able to travel. I don't think that
No,
they
but
should.
is it the number? The number.
Oh, yeah.
What is it? 669.
Your husband's right. It's 666. Actually, yes, that's the. Yeah.
Oh, Steve, you're right. 666. No, I'm right.
Yeah, he's.
You don't have to be mean, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
We've had a couple of drinks. And I
Okay.
have my gin and tonic, and Steve drinks beer. He's a beer drinker.
Okay.
And we had a few drinks tonight,
Uh-huh.
and watching the rain. I told you it was raining over here.
Yeah.
But anyway, to get back to the vaccine.
Yeah.
We caught the virus. We caught the COVID,
Mm-hmm.
coronavirus.
Okay.
We caught it back last year.
Yeah. Right. I remember that.
Do you remember we had a small party afterwards? And
I remember. Yeah.
During that, I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
And I think my thought was, let's just get it over with. And then I spoke to my friend Candace, and she thought that was a bad idea because evidently some people are dying. It is. Some people, we thank the Lord we did not get very sick.
Right. Yeah. It was very, very
And,
serious.
Trevor and Jen, they did not. They caught it too, but they just played video games, and I don't know if they were sick or we were all tested positive.
Right.
So, why do I need to get the vaccine, Glenn, if I already have it?
Well, you had it then. I mean,
I had it, yes.
so I mean, do you think you have the vaccine shot yet?
Oh Lord, no, I have not.
Okay. Well,
But why?
well, I think that's a personal question. Why or why not?
Personal.
I mean,
people say, well, it's all over the news. You should take this. You should take that. But what? I already got COVID. They said that I have the antibody.
there you go. I believe I have it also.
You did too, Glenn.
I was very, very sick. Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So then I worked at the hotel down there, and Chinese were coming in like crazy, and they had masks on.
The China virus.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what the former President Trump.
Yes.
I acknowledge his former President Trump. I'm a Trump supporter.
I understand that. Okay, so we're going to move away from that. Go ahead.
Okay. But anyway, and I was reading some things on the internet.
Okay.
They're talking about aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of these the lizard ones?
The lizard aliens.
Yeah.
They say there is a race that are
Yes,
reptilian.
I saw this on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
and they said there's the normal, the gray ones,
Right.
the skinny ones with the big eyes,
Right. Big heads.
close encounters,
Right.
and the ones that you see, the regular alien type,
Right.
the big eyes.
The big eyes one. Yeah. The grays.
And also the program I was watching said there's lizard ones and there's other ones that look like us.
Yeah. The Normics, I guess they call it. Normics.
The what?
I think they're called the Nornix or something like that.
Nornix.
Nornix, I guess. I don't.
Well, this would just fit right in with that.
Well, they sure look like us, don't they?
That's what the program said.
Yeah.
So they could be, mixing in with us, and God knows it's probably screwing our women.
What do you say?
Steve thinks that they're probably here and they're having sex and having children.
Well, hybrid type, huh?
Half-breed.
A hybrid thing. Okay, half.
Hybrid.
Yeah.
Steve, Glenn calls them hybrid. Yeah, hybrid.
Yeah, that's what they call them. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe this is so. But a lot of people have been abducted from their homes, and things have been done to them.
Oh,
So who knows?
oh my.
And
Well,
this,
I heard this. Now, this abduction business. Now, the program I was watching, they talked about this too. This is alien abduction,
right?
and they would take
Abductees.
innocent people out of their rooms,
Right.
or follow them, or take them out of their house.
Yeah, right through the
with a
window.
spaceship.
Right.
Now, is it true? What do they do?
No, some people
I don't know
say,
if you heard that.
I did
They
hear
said
that.
Something about they did something with their tushes.
The probing. Yeah, there you go. They're probing, and they're
Oh,
probably
is that right?
yeah, experimental stuff, and
You're right. They did. Glenn says they do probe. They're
some get it, some don't. I don't know. I've heard the stories, of course, but
oh my.
yeah, my.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know if
it's not a pleasant thing when they
I don't
go.
know if I would like that.
No, I don't think I would either.
Because Steve has tried and
Well,
I
no,
don't-
let's move on there,
I'm not
Barbara.
into that,
Yeah, we don't want to talk. Yeah, okay, but yeah, they do a lot of weird stuff, and a lot of these people have come back, and
Is
they're
this true though?
well, I think it's true. They've gone through a lot of stuff. I don't know what they've gone through.
But why would aliens need to go? What would they find inside your butt, Glenn?
Well, we're different than them. Maybe they don't have a butt. I don't know, Barbara. I mean, so maybe they're different. They're checking us out and seeing, for years. And I think that they want our soul. I think that they haven't got a soul. We are such a unique race, unique. Yeah.
You need God blessed us only
Yes.
with souls.
Right, and I don't think they have souls.
We are the chosen, and they're
Yes,
not.
yes, I think we are the chosen.
Oh, that's fascinating.
I believe that that perhaps.
So are they evil or?
I don't know. I haven't really met one, but I'll tell you one thing. I have a lot of questions, and if I'll be able to get it out of them.
You have some very interesting theories, Glenn,
Mm-hmm.
and that's probably why you have this wonderful radio show.
Well, thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that.
We enjoy.
And
We
we're-
just have it on. We have it on, and we're just kind of kicking back,
Yeah.
enjoying the rain, and we had your show on. And, I don't sit by and listen to every minute. I come by in and out of the room,
Right.
and here. That's what I heard. Those bits and pieces about the aliens eating us and the slaves.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I caught your eye.
I got that. I got that part.
Yeah. Well, we talk about everything, but the gentleman that was on the air had expressed that there's camps over there that they have children labor and all sorts of so they don't they're not in the union to do what they're doing over there in Africa. Trust me, it's
That's
not the
terrible.
best. It is terrible. It's very bad. But as I say,
That's where you really have to be thankful for our country.
no, yes, and I'm thankful for what we have, and I just hope that everybody in America, everybody in our beautiful America, United States, that we stand together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, if this UFO thing turns to be a bummer for everybody, I mean, by getting hurt, or at least they may take over. I mean, they can do anything they want.
Take over. Oh my God. Oh
I
my
mean,
Lord.
Yeah, you don't know. You got guns. Yeah, everything you're gonna have, you're gonna need.
Glenn, Steve says he has guns to protect us.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But Barbara, we thank you for calling up, and
Anyway, it's good to hear your voice.
people have been asking about you.
And, excuse me?
People have been asking about you.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. I love calling the show. It's I've been calling your show for quite some time now.
Oh, you have, and you're back. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I've been away. We had our little issue with me and Steve.
Uh-huh.
But now we're back in full force,
Good.
and everything is patched up, and me and Steve are fine now.
Okay.
We're having a good time. We rekindled our relationship.
Well, that's great. We're going to be going off the air here, Barbara. I want to thank you so much.
I'm in that rainy Sacramento, Nevada, and I just want to say God bless America and the Glenn Larry Show.
And happy 4th of July to you coming up.
Oh, yes, happy 4th. Happy 4th to the United States of America.
All right, Barbara, thank you.
Good night.
Good night, Barbara. Oh, my gosh, that was Barbara. She's fantastic. Boy, she's a lot of fun. And again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to UFO Talk Radio and the Glenn Larry Show. I do thank the new listeners out there I've met, and thank you for tuning in. I can see you right now. Our whole page is just full. And again, thank you so very much. I am Glenn Larry, and this is the Glenn Larry Show. Again, thank you.
That